right, Coach. So we are through the first phase of the postseason with the conference races now out of the way. We had a lot of good things happen out of the Twin Cities in Minneapolis over the weekend, and we'll go ahead and recap it by overall second place as a team, with the men winning the Butch Reimer Cup, and those are two very good ways to start off. But tell us what else you saw out there over the weekend.
Yeah, CCSA Conference Championships last weekend was really successful for the team. It was awesome for the men's team to come away with the Butch Reimer Cup, 1 point ahead of our rivals, Northern Michigan University. Really close race, and that the conference championship that counted for us this last weekend was the Mass Start 20K Classic. So it truly was a head-to-head battle, making that team competition a really fun component of the weekend. I was really proud to see once again just different student athletes stepping up for the team. We had Wes Campbell, freshman, still a U20 athlete, so it's his first year doing these 20K races, have a really strong race and to be our third scorer for the team. So that was a difference maker for sure. Skylar Patton has just been so consistent all year long, and we can really count on him to be producing, those top results for us every race for the team. And even in a race it was a 7-lap race, super fast conditions, pretty wild, and he had to crash the first lap. So he actually got dropped from the pack and had to work really hard to catch back up. But he did it, and he definitely paid for it a little bit in the later laps. But he's just such an outstanding athlete that in his fitness, he's just so fit that he even when he's going to maybe fade because he has to work a lot harder in those early laps, he's still held on really, really strong. And then Adam Witkowski, just awesome to see where he's in. He's really come into the fold his senior season here, and really psyched for him to get that podium result in Classic, his first ever podium result in the CCSA and Classic, and to do it in conference championships, helping lead the team there. That was the way to do it. So yeah, on the women's side too, really psyched to see the women coming back with a stronger weekend. The Northern women, I have to give it to them. They had an outstanding day, and they just outclassed the rest of the field for sure. But, Annabelle Needham has just been an incredible leader for this team in so many ways. But obviously on the race course, she just lays it all out there every time. And it was 1/10 of a second for that title. So it was a lunge finish there. She was right there, and she gave everything. And that's, with all these student athletes, I think that was one of the things that we were most proud of, is just the absolute effort that they showed in that race. And that's all you can ever ask for. If you give that effort, results are going to come both individually and as a team. And so, but, Kat Stowe, another big highlight there. She, once again, really moved up through the field, and she's same as West, still a U20 athlete, a freshman, jumping into these 20Ks. It's a big step up, and for her to just show that progression that she's made this year, and her ability to really race that distance is just awesome. So really, really psyched for where she's at as well. And I think, a couple others, certainly Henrietta Sem, she came back and had a really strong Classic race there to get 5th, which is a really strong result for the team as well as her NCAA consideration. And I was really psyched for her just because, she had a tough period in January where she didn't get a race for a while because of some health stuff. And then for her to have not the best weekend in Duluth, come back this last weekend at conference when she knew she needed to ski as she did. I think it just puts her in a great place, and it should give her a lot of confidence that, yes, she is capable of skiing that well. And I know she will only continue to progress through the rest of the season. And then, the rest of the team too, I think we got to give some shout outs to like Jasper Johnston. Amazing races both weekends, or both races this weekend. He had an amazing sprint day, almost got in that Super Tour semifinal. And I also want to give a special shout out to Alice and Marie. They really skied together as a pack insanely well on Sunday, and their best 20K of the season as well. So yeah, a lot of positives to celebrate, and just outstanding efforts, which we were really proud of.
And you mentioned it, but a lot of confidence probably coming out of this weekend, which is a great time for us to enter into the regional weekend. And we're going to be a little bit closer to home, going to Ishpeming. Kind of tell us about what we're excited for and what we're going to look for as far as the expectations of the regional weekend.
Yeah, so this is our NCAA Central Regional Skiing Championships coming up here in Ishpeming, Michigan. So only a couple hours away. It'll be nice, not too far to travel for the team. And we've raced this competition venue a ton. So yeah, our student athletes have a lot of experience here. We know how to ski the courses. I think they really suit our strengths well. They're tough climbing courses, and we are a good climbing team. And yeah, like you said, Matt, I think we're just we're continuing to show that we're in a great place as a team, and I really think we're continuing to build through this championship season. So I think certainly the two big things that we got to continue to focus on are just everybody giving their absolute best race effort out there on those race days, which I know everybody will. The last races for this NCAA races for the season for many of these student athletes. And then secondly is just we were really proud of the way the team represented themselves last weekend too. I think a couple of good examples were after the women finished their race on Sunday, each one of them, they would cross the finish line, and then it's really hard to do because you're just exhausted, right? You're laying on the ground. You're like oxygen deprived. Your muscles are screaming with lactic acid. But they got right up right away, looked right back down that finishing line, and just started cheering on their teammates to the finish line. And I think that really showed that we have a really great, sincere team culture of putting teammates first, right? And you have to do that, especially in these championship season, to perform well as a team, because it is about how every single student athlete skis that makes the difference for teams in the results, right? And so that was just really fun to see. I literally was standing at the full other side of the stadium, and I could hear all of the women screaming for their teammates, which is sweet. And then the men, one thing that was really awesome too is these weekends are so long and so much work on our entire staff as well. And the men finished the race weekend first. They were out there cheering on the women, and then they came back, and without needing any direction or delegation, they just jumped right in and started cleaning up the skis and all of the equipment. We travel with a big trailer. It's a full show, right? It's a road show. And they jumped right in, started cleaning the test skis, started cleaning and waxing teammates' skis, and just helping each other out. And I think it's also just the ability to really be selfless in not just looking after your own self and your own needs and what you need to do, but really helping make sure that you are part of that process of efficiency for the team and contributing in that way. That was really outstanding to show, once again, the men putting the team first in that regard. And yeah, like I said, I think that speaks volumes, because one thing that we really believe in that's going to make the difference in results through the end of the season is having that championship team culture. So those little things actually make the biggest difference in creating, maintaining that culture and a really positive and uplifting environment. And so, yep, we're going to give it our best, as we always do. We're going to enjoy it as a team, and we're going to really be an outstanding team, because that's going to make the difference, I think, for us, not only for regionals here this next weekend, but through the rest of the season as well, with NCAA championships on tap next as well.
Thanks so much. Best of luck this weekend.
Thanks. Go Huskies.